how do you like the conference so far?
It's certainly a very good beginning, but I think there needs to be a whole lot more education and content on the technology and implementation side, the practical side. I think there's a lot of content on what the regulations are, the processes, the procedures, the preparation, but not too much on the actual execution of GDPR. And I'm hoping that will continue to become more important. At the moment, I think that's a little bit light.
And what was the keynotes of your speech? What did you want to tell the people here?
It's precisely actually to start the conversation there, because I find that the audience is a little bit uninformed about what the challenges are and what the solutions might be and their options.
What would you say are the challenges concerning to the GDPR?
Primarily about information management. GDPR does not care where the data resides in any organization. And therein lies the biggest challenge, because heretofore, for the last 6 decades, IT has been building all these silos of data, silos of applications, and suddenly the regulation comes and says you have to bridge all the silos. And I think a lot of people are kind of scratching their heads and saying, how do we do this?
And what do you offer the people here referring to the GDPR?
We offer the ability to manage all data across the enterprise, and that's easier said than done. We've been at this for 20 years, and we service primarily the Fortune 100, the very large organizations, and they certainly have not only a lot of data, but big challenges in bridging all the silos for compliance, for rediscovery, for records management, for analytics, for privacy. So we've been doing this for 20 years, and we're trying to bring our expertise to hopefully bring Europe up the learning curve a lot faster.
And why did you choose this event to be representative?
Because I knew of the work by CIPL, and they were involved in some parts of this conference. And we looked at the event, and it looked like the right ideas and content existed. So I thought ours would be a very good complementary presentation on how to implement, not just talking about GDPR, but how to get it done.
And what would be your advice for DPOs referring to the GDPR?
I would say we are still very much early in the game in Europe. I think there's a whole lot more self-education on the IT and technology side. We are still very much early in the game, so there's a lot to be learned.
And what would you say, how can a conference like that help for this education, and what's the added value?
I think my presentation, for example, started quite a few questions being posed to me that were a lot more on point. So I think that's very encouraging. However, this has to be replicated many, many times. At the moment, I don't think many of the attendees understand just how challenging it is. In fact, when I asked for a show of hands as to how many have actually started implementation of GDPR execution, I think I only saw less than a handful go up.
And how can that be changed?
Hopefully, when they understand more about what needs to be done, the next step then is to get such projects going. At the moment, we're still early there.